Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today we're going to get organized, junk journal style. So what we're going to be making today, you could use for your Happy Mail organization, or you can organize it for a stationery organization folder, or your craft items, or even ephemera. Or you could use it on your desk for receipts and things like that. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a file folder. Now I have coffee dyed my file folder here, and my file folder is 11 3/4 inches by 9 inches folded. I have a window envelope that I've also coffee dyed, and it's 9.5 inches by 4 inches. And then I have 3 envelopes like this, and these envelopes are 6.5 by 3.5. And one more, this little fella is 3 inches by 3 inches. Now you can make this without coffee dyeing the papers. You can also make this without sewing around the edges. Now I've chosen to do both. I've chosen to coffee dye, and I'm going to show you the ones that I've sewn. Now, let's address this right here. After you coffee dye, it does become easier to take these apart. And you can do that by just kind of placing your thumb and pushing between the pieces, and they come apart really pretty easily. You don't have to struggle too awful much, and there you go. Now, I opened up my windowed envelope as well, and then I selected some sort of pattern to go in my window. Now, I decided that I was going to use this digital right here. I thought the colors went fantastic with the coffee dye and the blue, and I even like this bright white with it. Now this digital is a Midlevel Mirage digital, and it's from her Midlevel Garden Kit. Okay, so that's what I have chosen to use. And I chose to take my window envelope, and this section right here, I think is gorgeous. And so I popped that into my window. I also took my envelopes and I used this same print, this digital, and I covered the inside of my envelope. Now, I still have one more that I need to do that too. So let me move these out of the way, and let me bring in the ones that I've sewn. So you can see that I have sewn around the edges of my envelope. Now, to get this look that I've got going on here, where it's kind of squiggly, what I did was I first took it to my machine and I sewed a straight line around. Now, straight line is, you know, very freely saying the word straight. And then my second pass, that's when I kind of took it in and out. And that's what gave me this look. It's really easily achieved. This one I did 2 or 3 times because, I don't know, I kind of felt like there was right here and right, I guess mainly right here and right here. It kind of, I took it to a pretty good point, and I wanted to kind of soften that. So I went a couple of times, actually 3 times, 1, 2, 3. I went 3 times around. So you can go as many times as you want. If you make a little spot that you don't like, go over it again. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take our paper here, our Midlevel Mirage, and I thought I had one that my edges were cut off of. Yes, this one. I haven't removed my border. yet on that one. So here's one that I've already removed my border. This is my flap that comes down on the top. This is the one that pulls up from the bottom. This, I only sewed where you would see. I didn't sew this part because obviously that's going to be covered up. I took my paper and I'm going to pop it in like this, and then I'm going to trim it out. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue. You can use the glue of your choice. And I'm going to add my glue right here close to the fold, all the way around and up here at the flap of the envelope. I'll fill it in a little bit. I'm going to go here on the fold. There we go. And then I'm going to take my digital and I'm going to pop it right in here like this. And then I'm going to turn it over and pull it back like this and fold it so nothing gets stuck where I don't want it. I don't want that stuck down, and I don't want this to be stuck down. I do want my flap to be stuck down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim around. Now this is the easiest that I found doing it. If you have another way that you like to do it, then definitely do it the way you like. All right, so let's get this trimmed out. There we go. And then look how gorgeous this looks once we put it back together. Oh my goodness, that's going to be beautiful. Now I'm going to bring in my other pieces. I went ahead and I inked it. You can see the difference between inking the edge and not inking the edge. Either way is gorgeous. It just depends on your preferences. I covered the small one inside as well, just so we had a theme going along here. And I've got this one, and I have done my window envelope, and it looks like this. All right, so next, let's go ahead. Now, I just glued this one, and I don't want to bend it. So I'm going to fold all my envelopes, and I'm going to run a little bit of my sponge right here inside like that, because I've already inked everything else and I want to carry that theme throughout. So let's get that inked up just real quick, just a little bit. I don't have to have a lot. It doesn't have to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I just think that looks real nice. It's time that we glue our envelopes together. I'm going to add my glue right here to the white part and a little bit over here on this side, and then I'm going to simply place it together using a little bit of a paper towel. I'm going to wipe up any excess glue that might spill out, and we're going to fold this down. I'm going to bring in my bone folder and give it a nice little push down, seal, fold. I'm not sure what to call it. Now I'm going to seal this one, and I'm going to seal this one, and we're still waiting for this one to dry. So let me get that done. All right, so I'm going to take my file folder, and you can, if you have not sewn, you can glue here by placing your glue on the shorter section of the file folder and glue it shut. Or if you have sewn, you can take it to your sewing machine and give it another stitch and sew it closed. All right, so I have my file folder and it is closed now. It's a big pouch. I'm going to bring in my windowed envelope and it looks just like this. So I have folded over the flap at the top. Where is my envelope? I think maybe I've already done all of them to show you, but the flap at the top, I just folded it over and then no, here's one, like this. Okay, when I opened mine, it looked just like this. And so I glued the flap closed, so it's closed. And then I took it to the machine and I sewed around the window and I sewed around this section right here. And so then I chose my print and I filled my envelope window. Now let's place it, it's open like this. Let's place it like this onto our file folder. And I'm just going to see if I can get it placed fairly, evenly. Maybe something like that. So that's leaving about 1 1/4 on either side. 1 1/4? No. It's a, 1 1/4 inches. 1 1/4. This one's not quite. I'll move it over just a little bit. It doesn't have to be precise. I don't know why I'm worried about being so precise. It does not have to be precise. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to glue this down. I was thinking at first that I was going to make this into a pocket, and then I thought, I don't know, because if you stack this and you put them in one of those little holders, the wire holders like this, it would be so cute, a wire holder, quite a few of them, with different things inside. I think I'd rather just collage a little bit on the back side, but that's an option. You could make this into a pocket if you wanted to. Now I'm going to open this up and I'm going to glue this down. So I'm adding my glue. I know you probably can't see this. I've got so much on my desk right this minute that it's kind of hard for me to show you exactly, but the whole thing, But you saw that. I glued it right on there just like that. I've got a lot of scraps here from the beautiful papers from Midlevel Mirage. And I think I would just like to maybe do a little bit of collaging on the back. And I think I don't want any straight edges. I think I'd like it to be like that, just a little bit here and a little bit there. I'm not even sure that I want a lot on here, but I just think it would add interest to the back. It wouldn't add any bulk. You could still put it in a holder on your desk, or even in a satchel if you wanted to take it with you somewhere. I'm not sure how I want to do this. Maybe. Oh, I kind of like that. Now I am going to take my frayed burlap and my little sponge, and what I want to do is I'm going to ink up the edges just a little bit, just to give it a little definition. And I'm going to lay this back down and you can see the difference between one that's inked and then one that's not inked. So I don't know, it also, I think, kind of makes it blend a little bit better because of the coffee dyed paper. So I'm going to take a few minutes and I'm going to ink it. I'm going to go ahead and glue it, and then I'm going to show you what I've done next. Right, so I've got them glued down, my little pieces, and I started looking at it thinking, I think it needs a little bit of stamping. So I got my paragraph stamp here, and I have my Stays On Timber Brown, and I thought, well, let's just try a little bit of this here and there. I don't want to do a lot, although I always say that and then I end up doing a lot. So let's see here what we can do. I think that's probably all I want. There, I like that. I think that helped. I'm not sure how to explain why I think it helped, but it kind of pulled it together a little bit. So this is the back, and this is our front. Now we still have it like this, still flapped open. So I'm going to take my art glitter glue and I'm going to glue my sides down, making this into a pocket. So we'll have a nice big pocket on the front. So I just want to put a little line of glue here. Make sure I get enough on there that it holds well. And then pressing it down and with a little piece of paper towel to catch any oozing of the glue. There we go. A nice big pocket. All right, so it's time to do a little bit of decorating. Now remember the little tiny envelope that I have here? I want to have it hang over the side of this pocket like this. And I'll probably am going to need to grab some type of a paper clip, whether it's a big paper clip like this or a smaller paper clip, but I do need to hold it in place. The next thing is I'm going to start decorating. Now I've got some strips here of lace. I started placing things around, trying to see what I thought would look nice, what I would like. And I'm thinking, I can get this all on screen, all in view, possibly something like that. I'm almost thinking I might want it a little more frayed up here. I had this. I also had a, where is it? A larger piece. Where did it go? This one, I think. No, that wasn't it. Where did I put that bigger piece? I might have put it back. Oh, I had this one. I had a white one. That's what I had. I thought, well, gosh, maybe I could change it up and put, it has a little something on it on that side. I could put a little bit of white on that. I like it. This is pretty much cream, but there's a little bit of white in there. I wasn't sure if I liked that or if I liked the, where did I just throw that? This piece right here. This is white too. I don't know which one I like better. I'm not sure. I also have some trim. I have these little tiny flowers in a peach right here. Those are pretty. And I have a little bit of trim in a gold. You can see how this all just starts changing looks once you start adding different things. I have a little bit of a lace from a shirt, and I thought, well, I could even maybe do some puckering on here, maybe something like that. I like this color. I like this color better than I like these two colors, but I'm still not real sure. I have some yellow in these little tiny flowers. Maybe some little yellow would be pretty to bring in the yellow flower. It looks like a wild rose right there. That might be really sweet. I'm just kind of at a loss about exactly what do I want to do to decorate this. All right, I grabbed a few more things just to make it even more confusing. Here's the yellow. Do we like that yellow? Does it bring in that yellow? Or do we like the peach? The yellow is pretty. I also brought some sari silk in. This is a cream sari silk. That has blue in it. It must be stained a little bit. Here, let's try the other end. We could put kind of a ruffle on here. We could do that. I also have some sari silk in a kind of a golden color. That's also pretty. Oh, goodness gracious. I do like this right here. So let's just start gluing some things down. So let's glue this piece right here. I do know I like that. So I'm using my hot glue gun. I'll show it to you in just a second here. I like to use my glue gun when I make my videos because I don't have to wait for anything to dry. It dries right away and it's permanent. It's a Sure Bonder high temp and it has that special little tip. It came with the tip. I did not add the tip on. Need to pop another glue stick in there. And do I like this piece up here, or do I want to add, oh goodness gracious, I'm just not sure. I think I like this, and I think I want it so that I can still see my sewing. I think I'm going to add some buttons on there. Maybe that's what it's calling for. It's calling for something. I hear it saying something, but I can't quite make it out yet. And I think it's talking about buttons. All right, so we've got those two pieces. Now we're back down here. Are we going to add this one? Or are we going to add this one? Good question. Are we going to make this one be puckery? It's my least favorite, I think. Actually, I said I liked it, but now I don't like it. Do we want to make this puckery? Well, that's an option. I hadn't thought of puckering that up. I've got a bigger piece right here. Mother must have cut this off of something because it's frayed on both sides. She was known for doing that. It's stained right here. I'm going to cut that stain off. I don't want the stain on. And yeah, I think I want to just pucker it on there. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue. And then I don't think there's any right or wrong to this. I think it's one size is the same as the other. I can't figure out if it has a side that's right and a side that's wrong. So I just say both sides are right. So here we go. So we're just adding a little bit of glue and then we're just smushing it on there like that. Oh, I do like that. I think that's what it needed. Just a little bit of a puckering. Okay, and then I'm going to trim it off right here. And I'm going to glue that down. Just like this. There we go. All right, now oh yeah, that's looking cute. For the buttons, I cut these buttons and I did get them from Temu. I think they're really pretty. They're like mother of pearl. Aren't they cute? They're really cute. I think they are. And I'm thinking that we can put a button or two here. I don't know. I could get carried away with buttons on this one. I really could. Do I want the buttons down here? Here we go again. What do we want? What do we want to do? Do we want to fill it up with buttons? I'm having a hard time getting all this on here, aren't I? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my black thread. Because I've sewn my stitching is with black thread. Now this is navy blue. Let me grab my black thread. All right, you guys, I played around a little bit. I took a piece of that Sari silk and I made a bow, and then I put that button in the middle, and I think that's super cute. I really do like that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to glue that bow right there on top. So here we go. Just get it done here. Okay. And then I'm going to, I see how I put the thread through the hole and tied a knot. I'm going to add that right there on the top of my bow. Okay. Now let's see. Do I want to add a little bit of this up at the top here to kind of tie it together, but this is an awful lot. So let's see about making this thinner. And then maybe just doing a little bit of a pucker up here. So I'm going to turn it around this way. And it would help if this was ironed, but I'm not going to iron it. I'm going to just see about puckering it. So I got to get it started. So let's put it on there like that. And then a little bit of glue and laying this down. It's kind of hard to do on top of lace because it doesn't, when you do it on top of paper, it kind of slides. Well, it doesn't slide on top of lace. It's not sliding well. But I think, oh, I like this. I do like this. I like the color. Well, let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, I like that. That kind of pulls it together. Now, do I want another button on there? I don't know. I have no clue. Do I want a button? Might be kind of cute to put a button. Maybe a couple buttons. No. Do I want any more buttons? I don't know. Getting button crazy here. Okay, so I do like those up there. I'm thinking I want something down here. I don't know if I want buttons, but I've got these. Do I want any of these? Because I was thinking I wanted these, and then I kind of got away from them. Let's do it this way and see. It's okay. It's okay. How about the sparkle? Does the sparkle, if I could find the end of the sparkle, does this do anything? Well, not bad, but it's like it needs, I need, maybe some of that new yarn. Yeah, maybe I should grab some of the new yarn. All right, so I didn't find any yarn that I thought went well with it. I did put the thread through the buttons here. And do you remember those envelopes that we covered in the beginning? I'm actually going to pop these right on here before we do anything else. I'm just seeing where I should put them. Maybe one right here. Okay. And then one right here. There we go. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to bring in, it's coffee dyed scrap that I was playing with. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to cover our little file folder. It doesn't have to be coffee dyed because it's going to get covered up. I want to cover it with, and I need 3 Need to be able to get 3 whale tabs out of here. Let's use our Yoo-hoo glue stick and let's cover this like that. I think it will cover that. Okay, and then I need to cover the other side. I want both sides to be covered. Goodness, can I get 3 out of that? I don't know if I can get 3 out of that. Is it about the same size? No, I wish it was just a little bit bigger. Just a tiny bit bigger. Okay. Well, oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Let's take it down this way. Get it on there, like that. Now, of course, I'm going to have to let this dry for a moment before I go ahead and use my whale tab. I need to punch out 3 little whale tabs. All right, I've got my whale tab here, and let's see about getting, yeah, I'm going to have to trim this. I can see that. Just trim that. I think everything else is looking good. Okay. And then let's try that again. This is how it's going to be. So let's put it like that. There's 1. Whoops, it went on the floor. There's 2. Okay, now I'm going to cut this like this so that I can get that right up. What happened to my trash can? I get this right up to the edge. I'm going to do another one just in case I like one better than the other. I would have an option. Grabbing the one from the ground. Okay, so I've got some extra. Bringing in our envelopes. Remember those really cool envelopes that we made? You could put all sorts of ephemera in here. You could stamp on here what it is inside if you want. You could glue what it is inside. So maybe it's a fussy cut of butterflies. You could glue the butterfly on there. So you could organize it in that way. What I'm thinking of is I'm thinking that we're going to stick them in this pocket like this so that you have right at hand your envelopes with your, now you could stick it in this way, or you could turn it around and you could stick it in this way, however you would like to stick it. But I thought, place them I should say, that a whale tab on the top would just really tie it all in so very nicely. And I am inking this up because that's kind of the theme that we're going with, inking. I really think that's pretty. I'm going to put mine like this. Now you could paper clip. Maybe you have some smaller little paper clips that you could add on here. You could put an altered paper clip on there. That would also be really cute. But let's see here. Let's glue that right on there like that. And then we can pop it into our nice big pocket. Just like this. Get this on there. Like that. pop it in our pocket. Yes, and it just ties everything together so very nicely, especially when you go to open up the envelope. You would have that exact same print inside your envelope. So you could use your paper pads to do that. You could use digitals. You could use book page. You know, you could always use book page. That would be on, or music paper. That would be nice. So sky's the limit on that one. You could use all sorts of things. I just have one more because I still don't know what one I want to use. I really like that it's backed with that file folder. They're nice and firm. They're not wiggly at all. I like this one a lot. Let's see. Yeah, I think I want these two here. So adding this one next. Okay. And popping that in there. And then let's add this one. Now I also was thinking that it might be a really good idea to do a little bit more of that stamp that we did on the back, the paragraph stamp, on possibly this little tiny envelope down here. I'm thinking that might be all we need to do is to add, oh goodness, that's looking great. And right at your hand, it's just right handy. You don't have to, you know, do anything, and then you can put your bigger papers inside there. But I think maybe a little bit, and I think that's what I want. I think I want just a little bit of it. Okay, so I'm going to take it off of here like this. And I'm going to open this up like that. Oh, I love it. Just love it. Okay, so now let's pop that back on here like this. You know, if you're using this for stationery organization, you could put your stamps in here. You could put all kinds. I mean, the sky's the limit on what you can put in here. And I think that's really all the decoration I'm going to do on this. I really like that. And I like the back as well, that nothing's going to get caught on anything. So I do hope that you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it with you. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.